Okay, this is the Unit 7 review packet, topic 19B and C. So starting with 29, I have an exponential function that I want to graph. So first of all, I'm going to get some points. So I'm going to make a table. I'm going to try to figure out my best spot for a table here. Maybe I can make a table right here with my x and my y. So I'm going to go to y equals on my calculator, put 2 to the x minus 2 plus 1. Now this one should be growth because my base is more than 1. So I look at this and yes, it's growth. Second graph or second table for my table. So I'm going to get some values here. I've got negative 2 gives me 1.06. Negative 1 gives me 1.13. 0, 1.25. 1, 1.5, and 2 gives me 2. So when I'm graphing these, I know I always have a horizontal asymptote for exponential functions, and my horizontal asymptote is this right here. So my horizontal asymptote is going to be at 1. So that's y equals 1. Oops, let me see if I can get that. There we go. Y equals 1. All right, so now let's graph. We've got negative 2 and 1.06, so really close to that asymptote. Negative 1, it's not really that much farther. 0, 1.25, 1, 1.5, and 2, 2. So here's there's my graph. We know that the domain is always negative infinity to positive infinity for exponential functions, right? It can be any x value. But my range is based on my asymptote. My asymptote is always going to be a part of my range. So in this case, I don't have any y values below my asymptote, which is 1. So my range starts at my asymptote, which is 1, but not including it, and goes to infinity. And in terms of my transformations, this right here, this negative 2, that means I'm going to the right 2. And this right here means I'm going up 1. So remember, this is how far left or right. This is how far up or down. And for the left or right, you kind of got to think opposite. When you see negative, it means right. And this is plus, so it's going up. All right, let's look at number 30. So again, this one has my natural base. So to look to see if it's growth or decay, I would actually look at this right here, this negative 0.5. So this one, because negative 0.5 is less than 0, this is going to be decay. And just for our notes, this one right here we said was growth. Okay, so we know that this one's going to look like decay. And just like my other one though, this plus 1, anything plus or minus after it is my horizontal asymptote. So my horizontal asymptote here is y equals 1. And let's get some values. So back to y equals on our calculator. E you get by pushing second ln, negative 0.5 x plus 1. So let's quickly graph it and just take a look and make sure that it is decay. Yep. And then second table to give us some values. So again, I think I'm going to make it right over here. So we've got negative 2, 3.7, negative 1, 2.6, 0, 2, 1, 1.6, and 2, 1.4. So I got those right off my table. So when I graph them, I've got negative 2, 1, 2, 3, about there. Negative 1, 1, 2, maybe about there. 0, 2, 1, 1.6, and 2, 1.4. So there's our graph. So just like before, our domain, its exponential, is always negative infinity to positive infinity, but our range depends on our asymptote. So our asymptote's at 1, all my values are above 1. So 1 with parentheses, because we're not including it, to infinity. And then my transformations, the only transformation I have going on here is this plus 1. So that means I'm going up 1. Okay. So number 31, on this one, we have vertical asymptotes for logarithmic functions. And my vertical asymptote is based on this right here. So I'm going to have a vertical asymptote at x equals 2. And when we deal with logarithmic, my range is always negative infinity to positive infinity. And my domain will always have the range somewhere in it. So let's get some points. So let's put in log of x minus 2 plus 1. Oops, and let's quickly graph it. So you can almost kind of see right here at 2 is where it stops. That's my vertical asymptote. Let's get some points. So all these errors because it's past that asymptote. All right, here we go. So let's see here. So we've got, maybe I'm going to make my table right here for this one. So x and y. So I've got 3, 1, 4, 1.3, 5, 1.5, 6, 1.6, and 7, 1.7. Okay, so now let's see. 3, 1 is here. 4 and 1.3, 5 and 1.5, 6 and 1.6. Oh, and then we're kind of off. So there's my graph. So in terms of transformations, well, let's look at my domain. So my domain means my x values, I don't have anything before this asymptote. So right here at this asymptote, values, not including it though. So I start at 2, not including 2, and going to infinity. And then my transformations are this 2 and this 1. So this 2 is moving it right 2, and the 1 is up 1.